February 5 Committee of Adjustment meeting. First off, the municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc acknowledges that it's located on Treaty 21 territory, and we are thankful to the generations of people who've taken care of this land, including the Chippewas of the Thames First Nation, the Munsee Delaware First Nation, and the United Nation of the Thames. Roll call, I'll go to Sasha.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Sajal Asman, and I am the Acting Secretary Treasurer for the Committee of Adjustment tonight. I will be hosting the meeting and managing participants. Committee members joining us this evening include Member Kumar, Member Vian, Councillor Pelkman, Deputy Mayor McGuire, and Member Terpstra, who's also our Chair. Municipal staff in attendance this evening are Alyssa Soldo, Planner with the County of Middlesex, Jake DeRitter, Manager of Growth and Development, and Melanie from the Legal and Legislative Services team. Tonight we have 4 applications to be heard by the committee. The chair will introduce each application and provide the applicant and agent an opportunity to speak to the application. The planner will follow with the report. The public will then be invited to make comments or ask questions about the application. The chair will then call upon the committee to ask questions and make comments before the chair calls for a vote on the application. Once a decision is made, there's a 20-day appeal period for the date of decision for minor variances and 20 days from date of notice of decision for consents. If anyone wishes to be notified of the decision, you can make a request today or make a written request following this meeting. For our virtual participants, please ensure your name is visible on your Zoom video, and we ask that you keep yourself muted until it is your turn to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. So then I'm looking for an approval of tonight's agenda. Members, Steve, and Dale. All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Any declaration of pecuniary interest by anyone on the committee? Seeing none. Then I'm looking for an approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. And then I'll go to Randy and Dale. All in favor? That carries. Okay, moving right along, then we'll go to submissions for consideration. Our first one is an application for minor variance A23-2025 at 22-164 Troops Road. Owner is Karen Baines. And I don't think she's in the audience. Okay, good, then I'll go for your report. This might be Karen.
Hello.
Is it Karen?
Yes, I'm Karen.
Okay, welcome to our meeting. We're just going to present your application here.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chair. The minor variance application before committee this evening is seeking relief from section 4.21C of the zoning bylaw to permit an accessory building to be located 11.582 meters into the front yard, whereas the bylaw does not permit accessory buildings to be erected in the front yard. The applicant is also seeking relief from section 4.65B to permit a secondary suite that is 93.5% of the gross floor area of the main dwelling, whereas secondary suites are permitted no greater than 40% of the gross floor area of the main dwelling when located in an accessory building. Lastly, the applicant is seeking relief from section 4.22 to permit a maximum accessory building lot coverage of 106.5%, whereas the bylaw limits this to 80% of the gross floor area of the main dwelling. These variances will facilitate the construction of a detached garage with an 86 square meter secondary suite above in the front yard of a rural residential property. The subject property was previously subject to a minor variance application on June 5th, 2025, where the 4 proposed minor variances were approved by the Committee of Adjustment. The applicant has made changes to their original plans, wanting to lessen the height of the accessory structure and increase the width by 1.727 meters towards Troops Road, furthering the location of the structure into the front yard. As a result, 3 minor variances are required, seeking greater variances than the original application for location in the front yard, an increased secondary suite size, and an increased maximum accessory building lot coverage. Staff note that the site plan provided shows an extension onto the existing home, which has not yet been developed, and its size and location cannot be taken into consideration for the purposes of this application. Staff also note that the previous planning recommendation for the minor variance application was denial. The subject property is located on the east side of Troops Road, north of Adelaide Road. The property is approximately 0.98 acres in size, with 42 meters of frontage along Troops Road. The property contains a 1-story, single detached dwelling on private services, and 3 accessory sheds. No comments were provided by the public or agencies prior to the development of this report. And I reviewed the application against the 4 tests of the Planning Act, and as indicated in the report, it is staff's opinion that this application does not meet all 4 tests. The 2-story accessory building is proposed to be located in front of the existing 1-story home, which does not make it subordinate, as is the intent of the zoning bylaw for accessory buildings and secondary suites. As such, I am recommending denial of minor variance application A23, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa. Karen, would you like to make any comments tonight on this application? Right, yeah, the microphone, please, thanks.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath. I'm pregnant and just ran up the stairs. But I mean, I just really only wanted to add that this was accepted in the summer, and when my husband and I went to start visualizing it on the property, we realized it would look a bit oblong. So we thought adding 6 feet of width and reducing the height by a foot would actually help. And we are very close to submitting our extension plan on the addition of the home, so that the front of the house will now match the front of the garage. So when the extension is done, the house and the garage frontage will match. So I know you can't really consider the addition because we haven't submitted it yet, but that is the plan. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. Then I'm going to go to committee members for any questions or comments. Steve, I'll go to you first.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, I guess, to Mrs. Payne. It's quite a increase in square footage. Was there a reason that you needed that much square footage?
Is this a question to me?
Yeah.
Sorry. There's no specific reason. We just thought we might as well maximize what we can, especially with addition of our home as well. So there's no specific reason. It was just more adding some more width because it looked a bit oblong. But yeah, we're really just trying to match it to the front of the house at this point with the addition that we're adding.
Okay, thank you. Mike, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I see the changes, and the piece of paper I had them written down on, I don't know where I put it, but anyways, I was just re-going through them. So overall, I'm not seeing anything drastic from our decision in the summer of 25 to now, and the explanation being that, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically you had the minor variances, and then when you actually begin the process of plotting it all out and looking at it, it's like, it's not really going to work, and you think you've got something better. Which, is probably how we would all go about doing these type of projects. So, I keep looking at these requests for minor variances, on these large properties out in the country, and I just can't see a better use for these properties than developing them into beautiful secondary suites, and because certainly we're not going to be building stuff like this within our urban boundaries. So I respect what staff are saying, and certainly according to the bylaws, it's not permitted. But I think at our group, I'm really leaning chair. Like, I think this is a good idea, and I'm not seeing an obvious reason that says don't do it because this would turn out horrible. It seems very valid to me. So I'll leave that with the committee members to ponder.
Just for clarity, now you're asking about the addition to your existing home, and that is going to be parallel, is it, with the front of this new building?
That's correct.
Okay. But that's sort of in the works, but not yet.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Mike. Steve, sorry, we had Mike already, Steve.
That's okay. I feel slightly honored.
Glasses on, glasses off.
Slightly honored.
I wouldn't.
Emphasis on the slight. Question to the planning staff: if they were to present the application in conjunction with the extension to their house, would that have made a difference if it was done at the same time?
Through the chair, yes, you're correct. If the plans were in place and the building permit was submitted and they were actually physically constructing it, then there's no way of them going back on their word. So then at that point, then it can be considered, and then that would help relieve some of the provisions in terms of it being in the front yard and such.
A quick follow-up question, if I may. Would you allow the building permits to be applied together?
Through the chair, they would require most likely still some minor variances, regardless of the location of it. So the building permit for the extension of the home would have had to been in place prior to even looking at the proposal for
Right.
this accessory structure.
So basically, you're saying that as a planning staff, you can't offer the approval until the building permit for the extension is at least in place.
Correct.
Any other comments from our committee? So the recommendation is a decline of this minor variance. Any comment to that or change recommended to that, or an approval for this decline? Is what I'm looking for. I'll go to Mike.
I'm gonna make a motion,
Okay?
if you'll allow.
Yep.
I'm gonna move that we allow the application for minor variance. And in so doing, if it passes, then I would say the next, not really sure how we do this procedurally, so somebody will have to correct me. If the committee approves that, then I would like to discuss conditions that staff think we should apply to our now changed.
If there are.
You see what I mean? Kind of two parts, but I think the first part is, do we actually approve it? Or does the committee turn it down?
Okay. Yeah, or divert the application is the other side, is right.
Defer, like then do a deferral? We did that before, and then it became kind of cumbersome
It
for
does.
the group.
Correct. It does, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, historically, we're getting the same conditions
Mhm.
on minor variances, like they're kind of boilerplate, if I can use that
Yeah.
term. So I'm thinking if we could take, and if we can't do it, that's fine, but I'm just thinking if we took the vote and the vote passes that we're going to approve it, instead of dropping it there, that we next speak to potential conditions that they would want applied to this.
Okay, why don't we go back to Alyssa? If this committee approves it, are there different conditions that have to be met that are not in this report, or all?
Through the chair, this is just a minor variance application, so I wouldn't have had any conditions even if I was
So
providing approval, recommendation for approval.
Okay,
solves that. Thank you.
so then from you, I have a recommendation to approve this. I'm looking for a seconder for that. Gail?
I'd second that.
All right, and then all in favor?
Question?
Oh, question first.
I just want to say, I somewhat agree with Mike that, this is a large rural lot, and the impact isn't really that great to the neighbors. What I am nervous about is that this was a big upgrade in square footage, and now we're seeing another plan in conjunction with it. And so I'm just a little nervous about, I kind of wish they would finalize their plans before we move forward. I have no issue with the garage, but I would like, if they're looking at doing all this work, I would like it all to be looked at together rather than piecemeal.
Okay, good comment. but then I'm still gonna ask for the vote, all in favor. And that carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Okay, then we're going to go on to 5.2. It's an application for minor variance A1 2026, 23059 Adelaide Road, Live Roof, Ontario. Peter Hillen, correct? But I don't think he's in the audience today. Then Alyssa, I'll go to you for your report.
Thank you, Chair. The minor variance application before committee is seeking relief from section 4.293 of the Strathroy-Caradoc zoning bylaw to permit a county road setback of 35.5 meters, whereas a minimum of 38 meters is required for lots that have frontage onto a county road. The application will facilitate the construction of a front entrance decorative canopy, which extends 2.5 meters into the county road setback. The decorative canopy is to be connected onto the front entrance of a warehouse/office building for this property. The subject property is located on the south side of Adelaide Road, County Road 81, southeast of Century Drive. The property is approximately 46 acres in size with 808 meters of frontage along Adelaide Road. The land currently contains a number of barns, a greenhouse, multiple hoop houses, and a warehouse/office building that is currently under construction. The property is serviced by a private well and sanitary system. The subject property recently went through a site plan process to add the new warehouse office building onto the property, and after this process was complete and the foundation was in place for the building, the decorative canopy was proposed to be added onto the front entrance of the building, and this results in the encroachment into the required county road setback, thus requiring this minor variance. No comments were provided from the public regarding this application. Comments provided by agencies include the Manager of Growth and Development having no concerns, the Middlesex County Engineer has noted no concerns, and the St. Clair Region Conservation Authority also has no concerns. I have reviewed the application against the 4 tests of the Planning Act, and as indicated in the report, it is staff's opinion that this application does meet the 4 tests, and as such, I am recommending that minor variance application A1 2026 be approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa. Any comments from committee members? Yes, Steve.
Is the front door to the office building facing Adelaide Road, or is it facing the side where the parking is?
Through the chair, I'm just going to scroll down on this location map. It's a bit hard to see, but it's on the corner of the building that faces kind of internally as well as Adelaide Road there. It's very tiny, but there's a little red bubble on the site plan which kind of identifies where the canopy is to be.
Okay. Yes, Mike.
Thank you, Chair. So I'll just say to my committee members, the important notation that I take out of this report is that our Director of Engineering at the county, Chris Trainey, makes no comments, says that no comments have been received from the public, and he himself or his group does not raise any concerns. So with no concerns from the county, I think this is something that we would approve, and I'll make the motion to approve it.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve it, seconded by Steve. All in favor? And that carries. Our next application is 5.3. It's an application for minor variance A3 2026, Buchanan Crossing. The owner is SLD Group. And Alyssa, I'll go to you for the report.
Thank you, Chair. This minor variance application is seeking relief from section 7.521 CVI for rear lane townhouse dwellings and section 7.521 DIII for townhouse dwellings to permit a maximum lot coverage of 58%, whereas a maximum lot coverage of 50% is permitted. The application will facilitate the construction of the proposed interior townhouse dwelling units as part of the Buchanan Crossings subdivision. The subject property is located on the north side of Napperton Drive, County Road 39, west of Dominion Street and Strathroy. A portion of the subject lands are regulated by the St. Clair Region Conservation Authority. The property is approximately 15.1 hectares in size with 133.6 meters of frontage along Napperton Drive. The subject property is currently vacant of any buildings or structures. The applicant proposes to construct a combined 145 rear lane townhouse dwellings and townhouse dwellings, in which all interior units would exceed the permitted total lot coverage by 8%. As a result, the applicant is requesting a variance to increase the maximum permitted lot coverage for these interior lots for both dwelling unit types from the permitted 50 to 58%. No comments were provided by the public prior to the development of this report. Agency comments include the Manager of Growth and Development having no comments or concerns, the St. Clair Region Conservation Authority having no comments with the minor variance, although they were seeking some clarification regarding the grading plan circulated alongside the application. The agent on this file has been in touch with the Conservation Authority to respond to their comments and clarify. So it's not necessarily an issue with the minor variance, but just wanted to note that as their comments were included. And I have reviewed the application against the 4 tests of the Planning Act, and as indicated in the report, is staff's opinion that this application does meet the 4 tests. As such, I am recommending that minor variance application A3 2026 be approved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Any comments or from the committee? Steve?
Yes, so, I mean, normally we would be concerned about the lot coverage, for infiltration of water and also for outdoor amenity space. And in this case, you know, everyone's gonna know what they're gonna get. It's not a change, because it's all new. And as far as the infiltration goes, they've built 2 very large stormwater management ponds, one at the front and one at the back, and there's a park nearby that's almost complete, I think, already, isn't it? It looks like they got trees and everything in already. So, and as far as green space goes, like, you know, this is a type of housing we don't have in Strathroy-Caradoc at the moment, and is something that's needed. It's like a middle piece. So certainly I'm very much okay with the variance, and would make a motion that we approve.
Okay, any other comments? Mike?
Yeah, and my comments echo exactly what Steve just said, but this is exactly keeping with what the province is wanting us to do with intensification and providing that missing housing that the community currently has. So saying the same thing Member Peltman just said, using only different words. So I would second his motion.
Okay, then I have a first and a second. All in favor? And that carries. And okay, going on to the next one. This is an application for minor variance A4 2026. It's 450 Head Street. The owner is Tyler Damon, and I believe we've got someone online, and Peter Hoyt is here in the public. Hi, Peter. Okay, Alyssa, if I go to you first for your report.
Thank you, Chair. The minor variance application before committee this evening is seeking relief from section 6.33 of the zoning bylaw to permit a front yard depth of 4 meters, whereas a minimum front yard depth of 5 meters is required. The applicant is also seeking relief from section 6.35 to permit a rear yard depth of 6 meters, whereas 8 meters is required. Lastly, the applicant is seeking relief from section 6.41C to permit a parking lot coverage of 28.6%, whereas a maximum of 20% is permitted. The application will facilitate the construction of an 8 multi-unit dwelling on the property. The subject property is located on the northwest corner of the intersection at Head Street North and Abigail Street in Strathroy. The property is approximately 0.41 acres in size, with 36.61 meters of frontage along Head Street and 44.81 meters of frontage along Abigail Street. The subject property currently contains a single detached dwelling and detached garage connected to municipal services, which are to be removed as a result of the development proposal. The subject property was previously subject to a rezoning application, which was approved by council on June 2nd, 2025, which permitted 8 dwelling units on the property. The proposed variances have now been identified for the proposed layout to accommodate drive aisles and parking spaces for all units. One comment was provided by a neighbor noting that they opposed the application due to the number of units being provided on the lot and its associated parking requirements. The St. Clair Region Conservation Authority has commented that they have no concerns with the application. the manager of growth and development has made an advisory comment regarding stormwater management, which will be reviewed during the site alteration permit process. And they also noted that staff do not anticipate a concern regarding the front yard setback impeding on any future road widening of Head Street. I have reviewed the application against the 4 tests of the Planning Act, and as indicated in the report, it is staff's opinion that this application does meet those 4 tests. As such, I'm recommending minor variance application A4 2026 be approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa. Now, I understand that our agent Olivia is online. Do you have any comments to add to that?
Alyssa got everything.
Sorry, I didn't catch any of that.
Sorry, Alyssa caught everything there.
Okay, excellent, good. And Peter, you're in the audience. Did you have something to comment to this one?
Thank you so much. My first comment is I'm not the neighbor who expressed opposition to this. I'm not totally opposed to it. I was at the meeting last June. I live immediately beside this proposed change on that corner. So I'm here mostly for information, and my understanding is the reason for this variance is primarily, if not exclusively, for enhanced parking between the dwellings. Is that accurate? Is that the main reason for this proposal related to parking?
Through the chair, I'd say correct. It was more just an overall rounding of when they actually put the proposal on the site plan, they realized that just some of the measurements didn't even add up to some of the zoning provisions, which did include the parking. Yes, you were correct.
Okay. Which I would support. One of the concerns expressed at the meeting last June was this development could potentially increase parking on Head Street, which is becoming an increasingly busy intersection and will be even more so after this project is completed. So if this is going to actually create more parking within, on the property as opposed to on the street, I think that would be a very helpful move. So.
Good, okay, thank you for that.
And just one other comment, if I may. I'm not sure if this belongs here or not, but since I'm the property immediately adjacent on the west side of this, is there some plan or proposal for a barrier between my property and this one, especially now given that it's moving closer to my to the boundary line? Just wondering if that is something that is in the works.
As in a fence?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go back to Alyssa. Do you know? Is that required as they build this?
Through the minor variance, it's not a requirement, but I would maybe ask Olivia if she has more details on the site plan for this.
Okay.
Speaking of the client, we haven't had any discussions about a fence, but we can certainly consider that. It's not a big ask, so.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay, that's all I was here to ask.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
So committee members, any questions or comments? And I'm gonna go to Mike first and then Steve.
Sorry, Steve, I didn't mean to bump you out. I'll repeat again, provincial government is telling us intensification, particularly where services are available to service the property, talking about water and wastewater. Clearly there is on Head Street. I find a lot of this intensification that occurs inside an already established urban area raises a lot of concerns with the people in the immediate neighborhood. And I am a resident of that immediate neighborhood. And we've heard from planners, and the one comment that sticks with me is this type of intensification and all of the new types of housing that we're putting in the community, although currently are new, which gets everybody concerned, in 5 years' time, these things will occur without a wink of an eye, because everybody will be used to them. They will be the way of infilling, because that's what the province is designing the Planning Act to do. So I appreciate what the neighbors are saying. I live up there. I had a development directly across from my house 10 years ago, if not longer, and had concerns about it, and none of my concerns, none of them, actually occurred. So I get that they can be challenging, but this is how our communities are going to look, because this is what the province is telling us we must do, and this is what the population says they want out of their communities. So, with that being said, I would support the application.
Okay, thanks for that. Steve, your comment.
Yeah, I have a comment and a question. So I would definitely support the neighbor in asking for a fence. I would hope they would do that because this is a townhouse style type dwelling, so the backyards are shallow, and certainly the unit closer to Abigail would essentially be facing your front yard. So I would really hope for some privacy's sake that the builder would put a fence up at least on that property line. My question to the planning staff doesn't really have anything to do with approval or non-approval of it, but the address currently sits on Head Street, but for all intents and purposes, after this is built, it will front onto Abigail. So is there, I'm thinking for first responders, would it make more sense that we change the address to Abigail?
Through the chair, it's definitely something we'll have to look at, and when these things occur, we consult with the county EMS on any address change. So that's likely what will happen. It'll likely end up being off of Abigail instead of Head Street, because that's practically where it is. I believe the frontage is still on Head Street because it's the shorter side, but the addressing doesn't always care about that. So I do suspect it'll change, but we will consult with emergency services about it for sure.
Yeah, I'm not so concerned about fire because I think they can usually see where the issue is, but from an ambulance perspective, you know, you'd want them to know that they gotta turn on to Abigail as opposed to,
Okay, good comment. Any other comment? Then I'm looking for a recommendation for approval. Steve?
no, Mike did it already.
Mike did it already. Steve will
second it,
second it, though. Okay, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Okay. Item number 6, any announcements or inquiries by members? No announcements, no nothing. Okay.
Actually,
Yes, Mike?
if you give me one moment, I just want to check next month. So next month's Committee of Adjustment is on the same night as the annual Lions Club of Mount Bridges Farmers Night.
Is it?
And so I will be giving my regrets for the committee,
Okay.
because I will be attending that event in Mount Bridges. So we might want to just make sure we have a quorum, given it's a very popular event. I think I've seen a number of us there over the
Yeah.
years.
I'm pretty sure Bo will be there too.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yep. Okay, so maybe an inquiry can go out to members to see if we're going to have it that night or move it to another night. Okay? That'll be good. There you see the scheduled meetings, March, April, May. I'm away in April as well, so we'll figure out that one as well. I assume Frank will be back and be able to chair. So then I'm looking for a recommendation for adjournment. Dale, seconded by Randy. All in favor? And that carries. Thank you for your attendance.